I don't know if it's necessarily a good comparison on account of like the Chicago fire having been in like the dense urban area, but it is pretty remarkable.
Chief Meteorologist Emily Walls has also been keeping an eye on
to see the focus on seeing things weigh in. Yes, of course, I know it's not square, but spatially speaking, this is how large the Palisades fire is right now, 16,000 acres, just shy.
Now it's 10,000 acres more than this.
Of that, which equals about 25 square miles. So spatially, this is what it would look like over the Chicagoland area. So that got me thinking, how does this compare to the Great Chicago Fire of 1871? It might surprise you that the Great Chicago Fire, because we hear about it all the time, is substantially smaller than the fire.
And the Palisades fire is much larger now, and it's also just one of the fires. Of course, also the Chicago fire was like a sudden in the middle of the night downtown fire that killed a bunch of people, but it's just to illustrate like the scale here. Obviously, you can't apply inflation to human lives, but like just in terms of the size. Why would DEI do this? I don't know. I don't know why DEI had to do this. I don't understand why they had to do this. Yeah, the crazy thing is that it seems to be spreading generally, even before the big wind event, which is again coming up. They now have evacuation orders all the way down to Wilshire Boulevard, down in Santa Monica. Not even warnings. Oh, sorry, no. These are the red flag warnings. My apologies, I've misread the map. I'm actually an idiot. I do know that there's been spread on the fire into Brentwood, which, pardon me for my poor memory of Los Angeles. Where the f is that again? Yeah, they got the Sunset Fire under control. The Hollywood Hills are fine. There's forecasted risk until Saturday. Next Saturday? Dude, it's just so much. Yeah, like 200,000 people evacuated. Yeah, Palisades the largest, the Eden Spout. Be real, do you think these fires are human-made? No. People are obsessed with, like, wanting them to be arson. Arsonists don't make fires that are, like, magically stronger. Like, a fire started by a down power line from wind or a lightning bolt isn't any less innately, like, you know, capable of spreading than one started by a human. Like, the main two fires that are burning, they started, like, days and days ago. It's just the dry conditions that are causing them to spread. Like, fire is fire, you know? Even if this was all arson, it wouldn't really change the fact that this is being caused by climate change. Like, if you, oh, sorry, your population center of 12 million people, it's actually doomed because a guy, like, lit a backyard fire. What? No, like, the conditions are what's causing the fire to spread. Obviously, like, that's the underlying issue. You can't let climate change turn the entirety of, you know, Southern California into a tinderbox, and then, you know, if an arson takes place, you're like, oh, the only problem is the arson, you know? Building the entire city out of powder kegs had nothing to do with it. Forecasted risk of fire weather for Saturday. I like this. The critical fire risk section just seems to be like literally all of LA County. Everything outside of like the center. Dude, it goes all the way down to San Diego. It's like the entire... So the hood is safe? Well, no, the hood is elevated, actually. You'd think they'd have an extreme fire weather risk in the areas that are literally currently on fire, but I guess I'm not the one who decides the criteria. I saw UCLA is pretty close to where the fires are headed. Yeah. Westwood, right here. And the fire... This area right here is on fire. I don't know what this would be. Less than a mile. I don't know if it's actually blowing in the direction of Westwood, though. Bel Air Country Club. I think I saw the, they had landmarks on here. Where's the Fresh Prince of Bel Air house? Do they only have it on the phone app? Somewhere here. Yeah, my parents are good. Where's the Bel Air house? Billionaire. MRCA open space. No, whatever. The Getty Center is bracing for the Palisades fire. Yeah, that's just up the 405. So, is it farther up like here? No, it's before here. It's got to be like... It's on the west side of the 405. Upper lower tram station. It should be like right here, right? But this area is already in the evacuation zone. Oh, there we go. I'm stupid. Damn, look at all the detail. Getty Center is cool as hell. I hope it doesn't go up. How close is the fire to it? I mean, it's in the mandatory evacuation zone. Few thousand feet. At least LA is extremely sparse in construction. I mean, in these areas, sure. But like, that's the reason why the Sunset Fire was such a big deal, because that was encroaching into a very dense urban area. What's the Getty Center made out of? Largely concrete, but a fire would still do a lot of damage. The Getty Center is intentionally fire resistant, isn't it? Yeah. But, you know, it would still do lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of damage. Yeah, the Getty Center is basically like a concrete fortress on top of the hill that overlooks the 405. And it houses a gigantic private collection of medieval and Renaissance art. Could still cause smoke damage, no? Concrete buildings aren't immune to fire. Just helps. It's a very pretty museum. Yeah, free as well. Free to go to. Oh, that place from GTA. I hate you people so much. This is how New Yorkers must have felt with Liberty City. Don't worry, it'll be Florida soon. Yeah, but I don't give a shit if Miami gets misrepresented. I don't know anything about Miami. They're thinking of the Griffith Observatory. Are they mixing up the Getty Center and the Griffith? Okay, whatever. Yes, they are. Okay, I definitely am. Just put the live coverage in the
These winds that came out of the ocean, came off the ocean. So the wind shifted for a little bit and pushed up this way off the ocean. And so that is what caused to push to the north where it is. Now, while the Santa Ana winds, we don't want them because they're not good. What will be interesting to see is, since the Santa Ana winds come out of the north-northeast, generally, we could see that start to push the fire back on itself, which would be an ideal situation if the northern flank of that fire then reversed course on itself and burned upwards back towards itself. Because
are you going to be covering the inauguration? No, I, the person who runs a political channel, I'm going to not cover one of the most, like, momentous political events of my lifetime.
It's really got nowhere to go, not a lot to choose.
I choose not to.
We could be in a good situation. As weird as it sounds to say, the Santa Ana winds coming back could help the fire burn on itself, but then of course it does create new issues for the communities down in here, where if it were to burn, you know, back down this way, we've obviously got stuff right here that has yet to burn, which would be concerning. So that's why they're still trying to do it. When we talk about containment numbers, I want to reiterate this. We talked about it a little bit last night. Containment numbers, we're talking about the entire
Gavin Newsom invites Trump to tour damage in Los Angeles fire zones. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, give me some helicopter coverage. Have we grounded the helicopters?
Washington State, we also saw others from Oregon. But if the winds do pick up like 50, 60, 70 mile an hour winds like we saw a couple of days ago, could be a very different story. Reporting in Los Angeles, Katie Nielsen, KCAL News.
Reporters rather, those ground crews, the dozers, those are the guys that are really digging in those hard lines to try to build that hard containment number. So we'll continue to watch that situation. Again, though, I got to say, things do look better than they did this time last night.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that down too, Mike, because I think a lot of times you hear containment numbers and you're thinking, okay, maybe that means they have 11% of the flames contained.
Yeah. Saw a tweet with 40K likes saying ASL should be removed because it makes things unserious. The path the right wing is taking is scary. Yeah, wasn't that from that one retard who bragged about lying and no one cares? What's his name? Not Christopher Rufo, but his butt buddy. Lindsay something, maybe? Was it Christopher Rufo? James Lindsay? I think it was James Lindsay, yeah. That sounds about right.
Evacuation center in the Fairfax district.
Are you guys ready for, like, super unwoke opinion? I half agree. Nah, I think it's cool when they're, like, in a separate box on the screen or whatever, but when they're like 2 feet away from the person at the podium, sometimes it's a little distracting. Listen, it's a different ableism concern, okay? Easily distracted, all right? That's all I'm saying.
At the shelter,
and if you disagree with me, you're doing an ableism.
On cots for a second night in a row. But the good news is that they believe that their homes are okay. Their homes are still standing. As you know, as we have been reporting all day when we were visiting other shelters, including one in Westwood, that is not the case for so many other people that we have spoken with who have lost literally everything. Maybe. Their home, their belongings, their pictures, their artwork. And I want you to listen to what a young woman who lived in Malibu with her family had to say to us earlier.
This is my pet goat, Coco. She got traumatized by the fire. She lost her house and her comfortable home, and it's been really hard on her. She also has separation anxiety. So when we were trying to get her to assimilate into like the shelter life and, you know, like sleep in a cage with the other pets. Even though they were closed off, she couldn't deal with it. She started shaking, and we were afraid that since she's senile, you know, she might have a heart attack or something. I'm just trying not to think about it. You know, when it first happened, I didn't even process it, and then all of a sudden, like 5 hours later, it hit me when I was like, oh, but everything's gonna be okay after a few days, like we're just gonna go home. And then I was like, there is no home. It sucks, but like, I mean, it's worse for Coco, so, you know, it's just like whatever.
I lost everything. My boyfriend, I thought I was going to his house to be safe, but his house burned down too. So it's overwhelming. I've never lost a house before. So, but we're here to just really kind of give people love, help them get their minds off of everything that's going on. I just would say, you know, you got to center yourself and just take it one step at a time. Everything else can be replaced. If you're here, that's the most important thing.
And that woman had such an incredible energy around her, so inspirational.
Aura is the
Pam Henderson. She had already
Ketchup.
applied for FEMA as well. We learned today that about 16,000 people here in California had begun that process to get aid from FEMA that would cover emergency aid, that would cover any uninsured losses that they might have as well. Just one quick note that I wanted to mention. I did speak with one of the veterans who came out here and also confirmed with someone else that they're actually a little bit cold in there, Leslie Wan. They have blankets, but the blankets aren't thick enough. I know that the staff is working to bring them thicker blankets, and I do see a truck here right now, so maybe that is the shipment that just happened, but that is something that they wanted to share, that they've been through a lot, and, you know, the temperatures have dropped a little bit, and apparently it's cold inside there, but again, we do see a truck.
How cold can it get in LA? I mean, it's winter. It's like 45, 50, like 50, maybe 55, right? Something like that at night. Certainly cold enough for like an old person to be cold. That's nothing. Well, you're not an elderly person in a survival shelter whose stuff is burnt down. People who live in the Midwest not be insufferable when other people say their cold challenge impossible. Well, every time, man. Bro, that's nothing. Okay. Yeah, and I know you people would melt down at like the 103-degree summers that I dealt with in Los Angeles. All right, I don't want to hear it. Look, you brag about dealing with the cold. The world is getting hot. Your skill set will be useless in 20 years. Before the Great Water Wars, I was really good at not complaining and wearing shorts in the snow. Wow, that's great, Grandpa. You want to go hunt some feral ghouls for meat? Okay.
People's spirit in such a time like this, and are you seeing that? Are you coming across with that?
You didn't live in humid heat in the South. Actually visited my grandparents in Florida every summer for 8 summers. So I was there for 2 months every time.
Of thing, having spoken to so many survivors, whether it's a hurricane or whether it's a firestorm in the past, there's 2 things that I've noticed that you need to have to get through this. The first is you need to be really organized, as I was mentioning earlier. Take notes of everyone that you're dealing with, and the second is you really do have to try to focus on gratitude. That is the only way that you're going to make it through. And as devastating as it is to lose everything, like the message we've heard from so many people in the community is that they still have each other. And I mean, if you just take a look right now, I'm so curious. You have these incredible people from the Red Cross, and they've just backed up the truck, and we see this gentleman opening it up. And
okay, yeah, I don't need the running narration. I can see what's going on here. Yeah, tuxedo mask. Yeah. Humid cold that's slightly above freezing is legit more uncomfortable than well below freezing but dry and sunny. Well, humidity makes literally everything worse, yeah.
Red Cross blankets for the VA.
Terrific.
Let's go. Come on, Beth.
Thank you so much. Wow.
Drippy.
And here they are, lots and lots of blankets for everyone here, and they're carrying these boxes. And those look, Leslie Wan, those look
Branded
very thick,
merch,
and
absolutely
they look very
tasteless.
comfortable. And when they pair that with the blankets they already have, I'm hoping they're going to be a lot more comfortable. So,
oh my God.
Is he okay? I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's okay.
He's okay. He's okay.
I think he's okay.
I'm sorry. He's
Oh,
okay.
We were there right with you, Masa,
Yeah.
watching that happen. So yeah,
He's okay.
This poor fucking woman is so clearly strung out. I mean, she's probably been doing this like every hour she can get. You know what I mean? Her heart skipped a beat because she was like, fuck, I just like witnessed a death. Poor lady. I mean, they're all probably operating on like no sleep. He's back. Yeah, well, he seems fine. I mean, not every fall is a broken hip for an old person, just like half of them.
In these blankets, and I'm so glad that you told me to stay on and that we can show just how quickly they acted to fix the situation that we had seen.
I have to tell you, I was very curious when I heard that truck beeping backwards.
Man, if only young people had the spare income to actually volunteer. I got really bad news for you. The reason young people don't volunteer is because they're lazy, they have their own things to do. It's not because they don't have the money to. I'm really sorry to say. It is 8:28 p.m. on a Saturday. The fact that it's old people unloading this Red Cross truck it has nothing to do with the money they have, and has everything to do with the fact that these guys don't have much else to do at the moment, or at least there's nothing else they'd rather be doing. Young people are busy with their third job. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not the point I'm making.
Things are looking pretty good right now.
Looking really good, Juan. That hard work is paying off. Take a look over here at the mountain.
Old people don't have video games.
Afternoon. The glow is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I see a couple little hot spots, little dots on the mountain there. It doesn't seem like much of a concern. I don't even see, I know they're there, but our ground crews that were kind of snaking around the mountain protecting that fire line, I see them all the way in the distance over there. You can see the light from their helmets kind of shining through there. But they are working really, really great. And I hear another
Old people don't have sex. What else they got to do?
I guess
I'm really sorry to tell you this, but old people actually have a lot of sex. Quite, not only possibly, but likely more than you. I know.
That video,
it's
and just the compare and
contrast to reconcile
how things
with,
have changed for the better here. When we first got here, there was a huge cloud of smoke. Of course, as I'm talking now, here comes this helicopter. We probably can't cut out of it, but there's another helicopter doing probably one more drop here where the glow is coming from. But when we got here, the glow was very significant. You could see the flames. They were quite high. And the wind was pretty strong. And that smoke was just so thick you couldn't see over the top of the mountain there at all. You couldn't see the sky.
This shit is never ending.
As the hours have gone on here and the crews have continued to aggressively fight these flames back, it's just gotten better and better. And that is exactly what the fire captain told me when I saw him this afternoon. He says, listen, we're in really great shape. We fought really hard overnight. We had help from the Seattle Fire Department that was out here helping us hold the line in this section. And,
well, I guess they're not busy right now.
We're in good shape. Of course, the winds are the wild card, or as he calls it, the king, because the winds, they can change any second, and that could change the game plan. But the firefighters are ready. They are prepared for this. They are on almost every street here in
Thanks
this
for helping with your
neighborhood.
tax dollars. Yeah, yeah, my pleasure. Okay. I think we got what we need from here. So is it true that earlier Hassan was talking to fucking child firefighter slaves? I actually want to see that shit.